Hi, my name is Veronica, and today I'm going to be picking my April TBR. I am so excited. This is going to be my second time picking from a TBR cup. Last month, I think I did okay. I have really good picks. I just didn't get to them because I'm a mood reader, but I really liked picking my TBR this way, so I'm going to do it again this month. I'm going to pick 5 prompts, and I'm going to do that because I typically read anywhere from 8 to 10 books a month, and I already have 2 that are going to be on my TBR. That's going to be Twisted Pawn by L.J. Shin and King of Gluttony by Anna Wong. Twisted Pawn I'm super excited about. I really love Bad Bishop, the first book in that series, and King of Gluttony just sounds like it's going to be so good. I believe it's academic rivals to lovers, and that is just my bread and butter. So without further ado, let's get into picking the prompts. Okay, our first one, a book you have seen a lot of hype on. Oh, I got this last month, and I feel like I keep up with a lot of the trending books, so it's hard for me to pick one. I think I'm just going to pick another prompt. Okay. Ooh, a 5-star prediction. I love that. Let me think. Okay, I went with Storm and Secrets of Sorrow by Melissa K. Rorick. This is the second book in the Legacy series. I read the first book, Rain of Shadows and Endings, in March, and I absolutely loved it. It was so good. It was so interesting. I really enjoyed the toxicity of the characters. I really loved the female main character, Tessa Lynn. I thought she was such a badass, and you could just tell she really is not going to just like roll over and take things from the main male character. And I just heard so many good things about the rest of the series. And while the first book wasn't a 5-star, it was really close. It was a 4.5, and I have no doubt that this book could easily be a 5-star if it's anything like that. So this is going to be the first book on the TBR. Oop, I just dropped one. I'll go with that. Pick a book over 400 pages. Cool. Typically I read 350 to 400, so maybe I can get like 430. That would be really nice. So for a book that's over 400 pages, I have 3 options. First, I have The Night Prince, which is the sequel to The Wolf King. I read The Wolf King back in February, I believe, and I really liked it. And this book is almost 500 pages. Play With Me, which is the second book in the Playing for Keeps series. This book is 482 pages. And then Flawless, which is the first book in the Chestnut Springs series. And this book is 434 pages, which is around what I was looking for. And I feel like I'm going to be between either Flawless or The Night Prince, and this is difficult. The Night Prince was on my TBR last month, so I should pick this one. And I've been thinking about the story a lot. And then Flawless, I read it previously, but I want to reread it because it's been so long, and I want to read other books within the series. But I don't know if I'm feeling a cowboy romance. That's hard. I think I'm going to go with The Night Prince. Like I said, I've really been thinking about this book a lot, and I've heard that this one is even better than The Wolf King, and I really enjoyed it. I thought it was so bingeable and interesting, and I love the dynamic between the 3 characters in the story, and I just want to see if I'm going to, I don't have a side yet, but I want to see if I'm going to be a particular side, and I think this book will solidify that for me. Picking for number 3. A book that matches your favorite color. Oh, that's good. Pink, purple, fuchsia. I just had a pink book and that was Flawless. Let me see if I have anything else that fits pink, purple, or fuchsia. Okay, I'm so excited about this one. I went with The Fake Out by Stephanie Archer, which is the second book in the Vancouver Storm series. I actually read this book a couple years ago and I really liked it. I stopped midway through, but I read another book within the series, Gloves Off, and I loved it. And I have been thinking about Rory and Hazel, which are from The Fake Out, and have been wanting to go back to it. And I feel like this was the perfect time. So I'm so excited to pick this one up. I remember thinking it was so good. It was fake dating, and I really loved the Mel main character. So I can't wait to go back and actually read that entire story. Okay, this one's long. A book that's in the opposite genre to the last book you finished. The last book I finished was a romance book. So a dark romance book? I mean, if you have to twist my leg, if you have to twist my leg, I mean, I'll do it. Okay, I'm gonna go with The Madness Obsession by Daniel Laurie. I'm super excited about this one. I've heard good things about Christian Alistair, and I want to see if I'm gonna feel the same way that other people have. I've heard that this one's really good. I like The Sweetest of Living. I read that last year, and I kind of like the day-to-day and how you're getting to really know the characters throughout that story. And I peeked at this, and I know that this has a little bit of like past perspective, so I'm super interested in this one, and I can't wait to pick it up. And our last pick. Can't even see the cup. It does say in my reading era, though I've been in my reading era since I was 12, so. Let's see. Oop. A book with sprayed edges. I have the perfect book. Hold on. Perfect. And now back to you by B.K. Borson. Sprayed Edges. But this is the second book after First Time Caller, and I read that last year. I really loved it, and you get a peek into one of the characters that's in this book and a rivalry that he has going on with a fellow news anchor, and I just found that so interesting, and I was intrigued by what their story would be, and this is their story. I didn't get to this in February. I feel like April is going to be perfect because they're news anchors. April, showers. Anyway, that wasn't funny, but I'm excited about this one, and I just feel like this will be a good like palette cleanser, I guess, throughout the month, because I'll have some dark romance and some fantasy, and I'm really excited about this one. So those were the 5 that I picked, and let's go back through what that was. So to rehash the 5 books that I picked, first was Storm of Secrets and Stars by Melissa K. Rourke. This is the second book in the Legacy series, and I listened to the first book. I really like her audiobook, so that will be an audiobook listen. That's going to be awesome. Then we had a book over 400 pages, and I was trying to be an overachiever and almost to 500, but that was The Night Prince, which is the second book to The Wolf King. This one I feel like I can easily fly through because I was able to deal with The Wolf King, and it was super bingeable, and if it's anything like that, I don't see this being a hardship at all. A book that matches my favorite color, I went with purple, and I picked The Fake Out by Stephanie Archer. And as I said, I previously have started this book and really liked it, and I feel like this one is just going to hit, so I'm super excited about that one. And then we have a book that's in the opposite genre to the last book that you finished, which the last book I finished was a romance, so I said, why not? Let's do dark romance. That was The Maddest Obsession by Daniel Laurie. This one, again, I've heard such good things about it, and I just feel like this, if it's what I think it's going to be, I'm going to eat it up. And lastly, a book with sprayed edges, and now Back to You by B.K. Borson. It'll be the last book outside of the 2 books that I picked that are already going to be on my TBR, which is Twisted Pawn and King of Gluttony. So that's going to make 7 books. Again, I am a mood reader, so honestly, this could change and be literally anything. I could pick up every single one of these books. I could pick up literally none of these books. But I will say, I know a guarantee would be Twisted Pawn because Bad Bishop was so good, and the peaks that we get into the characters that are going to be in this book, there's no way that I could pass that up on the 7th. It's literally at the beginning of the month, so that one's going to be picked up for sure. I can't attest to the other ones. I have no idea if I will, but if you stay to the end, thank you for watching. I'd love to know what's on your April TBR. I'd love to know how your March went. I want to see if you were able to like pick up a new favorite. I just love hearing about what other people are reading at the moment, and thank you for watching.